In the mid-1990s, the first application of this approach came up here at CDRH. ATL Labs, formerly Advanced Technology Laboratories, they conducted a study to extend the use of their high-definition ultrasound with imaging, with Doppler imaging, to use this to piggyback on top of mammography, that is, to use it as adjunctive to mammography to make the classification of masses as benign versus malignant. Now, if you go up to somebody in the metro between here and Bethesda in the early 90s, and you say, what's ultrasound good for in mammography? What would they tell you? Cysts, right? Cysts versus solid. But ultrasound technology started getting better, and this company said, oh, that was the old days. Now we can use ultrasound to help pick up more features and to help with the task of classifying benign versus malignant if it's piggybacked on top of mammography. And so Bob Phillips led us at that time through this study on Lillian Yin of happy memory. They actually did a study in this very paradigm, and here are the results. Mammography alone, here were the 4 empirical RSC curves. This is 14 institutions. This is the spirit in which we like to do some of these studies. All the data was pooled over 14 institutions. These are the average empirical RSC points. And this is this maximum likelihood fit that I told you about. This is for mammography alone. The higher curve is mammography with the piggyback of the high-definition imaging and the Doppler. Here are the empirical points. Here's the fit. And then you do inferential test. And the higher test was statistically significantly superior to this one. And this got through a panel. And there were a lot of other fine points I won't go into. And some people said, you know, that's a no-brainer. If you really know ultrasound, that's a no-brainer. You expect this to happen. It wasn't a no-brainer. Because there was another curve not published here that was mammography plus just the high-definition imaging. And it fell in here. And it wasn't significantly higher. It was only when you did the ultrasound plus the Doppler that they found statistical significance. And we're going to talk about that concept. The squares are the empirical operating points, and the curves are the maximum likelihood fits to that, as we've discussed. Oh, yeah, you know. I talked to Charlie Metz in the course of this. When these people come in, I said, you know, what you're doing really fits into the classical NCI VB&N protocol. So I encouraged them to do the study in this direction. It was a happy coalescence of a number of things. Is Harry Bouchard still here? At that time, Harry Bouchard, we had this fellow, Richard Sposta, a really brilliant young statistician, so Harry got Richard involved in this. Greg Campbell had just arrived around that time. I had been making these discussions. A lot of nice things happened, and so this company then did the study this way. They got Charles Metz to be their consultant. The results came out statistically significant, and afterwards Charlie said to me, look at this, Bob. This is the largest data set I've ever seen fit with this scheme. Are you not impressed with the fit? Remember, this was fit with maximum likelihood estimation on the double probability paper. And when translated back to this scheme, this threads the needle here. Very impressive. For this curve, it doesn't go through them all. It threads the needle. But all these points have noise. This is all based on finite samples. So you're seeing one of the richest data sets. And this is pretty impressive fit in the minds of most of us. Some people are not impressed with this, and that's take another 15 minutes to discuss.